This is Dumbed Down Life number 3. Okay, Lance, do you recognise that one?
I certainly do. It's Airwolf.
Airwolf?
Airwolf, yeah. No, Airwolf, definitely Airwolf.
Been having a bit of a retro 80s TV nostalgic week this week, and I found an absolutely fantastic thing is that a lot of these programs, which most people have forgotten, have got their theme tunes on YouTube. So I've been going through those, and for those of you that have been watching on my blog, I've actually posted some of them up on there because I'm just in tears looking at these programs thinking, oh, I'd forgotten all about that one.
The thing is, have you actually watched any of these shows recently?
Dukes of Hazzard, I know, has been re-shown on Sky fairly recently, but a lot of the others I've not seen in a long time now.
If you watch, I think it's UK Gold or what are they? Dave, the Dave channel.
The Dave channel.
I know.
Brilliant piece of marketing.
I think it's excellent. Its target audience is perfect, isn't it? The Dave channel. But they show a lot of them on there, the sort of the A-teams and the Knight Riders and those kind of things. You actually sit and watch them, you realise just how, well, crap these programs actually are.
No. Sorry, we must be watching totally different programs. Airwolf, I thought, was quite... the Airwolf is one that I've not seen in years. But even watching the introductions to some of these, you think, oh dear. Right,
Yeah.
see if we can get this one. I'm just hoping they don't say the name of the program straight away. Sorry, forgive me, this is all YouTubed. Just buzz in when you know what it is.
Oh, this is Street Hawk.
It is indeed.
Oh, who did the theme music? Who wrote this?
Oh goodness, is it Jan Hammer?
I think it might be.
Sounds like it, doesn't it?
It's either them, it's either Jan Hammer or Vangelis. It might have been
Now, unfortunately, that was just one of the music versions. Most of the other 80s programs, and this one included, after they had you then had the little bit of text explaining, the little spoken bit explaining what was I can't remember the name of the guy. Was an Jesse was an ex-police rider who was recruited by the FBI, and it was like they always told you this long story. If you can, that's it.
Shadowy flight into the world of the Knight Rider. It always made it sound like he was this sort of really dark and sort of shadowy guy, and no, it's the Hoff.
Who is really a dark and shadowy. Yeah, well, there's some others in here. There was one all about these trucks, and I remember the image of the trucks themselves. Actually, they look more like wheels, but
right.
I couldn't actually remember the program or anything itself. Let's have a look if I can see if I can just find another theme tune. Now, I think most of the other theme tunes that I'm thinking of, they all start with the people saying the name of the program at the beginning, which kind of gives it away and makes it a bit easy. Right, but staying on the theme of the 80s, one of the very popular song from the 80s has actually been re-released by the original author. I think, where is it? I can't find it. This is not going quite as smooth as all the others has, is it?
Production values are
Production values have absolutely sucked this. I've dragged the file over there and it's not playing either. Come on. Oh, here we go. Oh, it would help if I had the countdown. The countdown's not even running on this for some stupid reason. Shh, shh, shh.
So much for your promises. They died the day you let me go. Caught up in a web of lies, but it was just too late to know. I thought it was you who said they'd die for me. Can't you see you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty woke up to reality and found the future not so bright. Well, I dreamt the impossible, then maybe things could work out right. I thought it was you who said they'd die for me. Can't you see you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty heart. You know you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty I thought it was you who said they'd die for me. Can't you see you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty heart. You know you've given me nothing but shattered dreams, shattered dreams. Feel like I could run away from this empty So much for your promises. They died the day
So that's Clarck Datchler with Shattered Dreams. That was originally recorded by Johnny Hates Jazz. And Clarck Datchler was the singer from Johnny Hates Jazz. And he's decided to put a few of his songs and put his new album even on the Podsafe Music Network.
Not the Podsafe Music Network.
Yeah, I can never say it. I can never say that. Yeah, he's put it on there, and he found out that he couldn't actually use the original track because it was the rights to the song are still owned by the record company.
Oh, right.
So he's essentially done a cover version of his own song.
Yep. It's a sad state of affairs. Well, I wonder what's happened to Johnny Hates Jazz, or whether it just...
They don't exist anymore as a band.
Yeah.
I think he's had sort of 3 or 4 solo albums out.
All right.
None of which that I've actually heard, but having a look at his website, then he's been recording pretty much all since the 80s, but he's left. The Johnny Hates Jazz thing sort of finished, and he just went solo.
But he's from the Netherlands, isn't he?
I think so. I think he's probably had more success over there than he has in the UK.
So in that case, it's quite possible that Shattered Dreams never even made it out to the States, because sometimes things can stay pretty sort of Eurocentric, can't they?
Yeah, so probably nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, so those of you who don't remember that from the 80s, you now won't remember it from here either.
No. But the whole thing came about because he's friends with Adam Curry.
All right.
I think he knows him through Adam's wife. And it was Adam that sort of got him to start using the Podsafe Music Network. See, said it that time.
Yeah, what with the what with the Podsafe Music Network being his baby, then he tries to get all of his friends to play, doesn't he? Yes.
And being sort of where Adam came from, he knows a lot of artists. So I guess he's continually badgering people to put some music up there.
Yeah. Right. Well, we've not had any feedback this week
Again.
at all. Well, no, not again. I mean, the first week we had some feedback.
Yeah, we had a couple, didn't we?
And then this week we didn't get any. Not a sausage. Nobody cares. But we do know that there are people out there listening. So both of you, we're aware that you're out there.
To be fair, we have a few more than both of them.
We do have a few more.
Downloading it down 20 times each.
Yeah, which is nice to know. So thank you for listening. It is appreciated. And if you would like to give us some feedback on how appalling this week's show has been, you can email
ddl.podshow@googlemail.com.
or you can visit our website
ddl.podshow.com.
or you can leave us a voicemail message on our phone line, which is
0207 1932 982.
That kind of worked, didn't it?
Especially as I didn't know you were going to do it.
Yeah, off the cuff, that kind of thing works fantastic. And as is becoming traditional, can we have a tradition after 3 shows? We now have a promotion.
Hello?
Do we?
Hello, can anyone hear me? This is Captain Corval of the United Defense Force. My ship's been disabled and I'm adrift in the shadow of one of Neptune's moons. If anyone is receiving this transmission, please get it to UDF Command as fast as possible. Confirm the presence of Tarthet invasion forces currently inbound to the homeworld, and they are not tiptoeing in. Their ships number in the hundreds, and they're impossibly huge. I don't think they're coming to shake hands, people. They're loaded to take us out.
Our homeworld is in ruins. Our future is in doubt.
God, we're just not strong enough.
This will be a battle unlike any in our history, and its outcome will decide who are the chosen ones. We are all children of creation, but which of us are the children of the gods?
Join the fight for survival at childrenofthegods.net.
Yeah, Children of the Gods is a recorded story that uses special effects. It uses multiple different voice actors for the different characters. It's not an incredibly frequent recording. It's up to, I think, episode 9, and it's been a couple of years in the making now. But the quality absolutely makes up for it. So sign up for it, and then when the episodes do come through, they're well worth waiting for, and it's something interesting to have waiting on your iPod.
I think, to be fair, when you say about the frequency of it, I mean, as we've discovered, just getting together, a little thing that we just basically talk for half an hour and play some songs. I mean, we've done 2 hours of prep before this show. So if they're using special effects and there's going to be a lot of post editing and sort of mixing and that, I can kind of appreciate that there's going to be a long gap between shows, isn't there?
But the thing is with this, that the voice actors are actually spread all over the world. And so they record their part and then send it in to the producer, and then he has to mix them all together to make them sound like a conversation where they're in the same room in some instances. I mean, thankfully, the story allows them to have like the captain on the bridge talking to somebody in sickbay via the communicator, so they can account for the different qualities of sound recording, and put a little bit of backing music, and that can hide certain things as well. But the whole thing is very clever, very well done, and certainly for science fiction people, there's a lot of detail, and it's very interesting to listen to. So yeah, highly recommended.
How long's each show?
That's a good question. About half an hour to 45 minutes, I believe.
Okay. So I tend to listen to a lot of my podcasts when I'm driving around, and most often when I'm probably driving to Nottingham. So it'd be a good thing to download and store up and listen while I'm driving up there with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of these that you don't have to listen to. It's not, obviously, it's not relevant to today, so you can listen to it tomorrow, you can listen to it next week, you can listen to it next month, whatever. You don't have to listen to it the very day that it drops. So yeah, it can sit on your iPod, and you can listen to it whenever you want to. And you've got 8 episodes to catch up on to get you interested in it now. So that's good.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I'll be going to look at that.
Now, you mentioned that, because when you were reading through the show notes, you mentioned something about Children of the Gods reminded you of something else?
Yeah. It's Erik Von Daniken. Now, no, you've never heard of Erik Von Daniken, have you? Which surprised me quite a bit, actually. He's written a lot of books. I think he's up to, just had a quick look on Wikipedia, and he's on up to about 26 books. The first one of which was Chariots of the Gods, which is what caused me the thought. And the basic premise of his stories are, not stories, of his books, are that we've been visited by aliens.
Right.
And the things like the pyramids. Have you heard of the lines and the drawings on the Nazca Plains?
I know of them, yeah.
Things like that, he said, they're evidence of extraterrestrial visitations, and that aliens could have had a direct influence on our evolution and our development. I think he kind of tries to point to the fact that in Darwinian evolution there is this missing link,
right,
where we've got primitive sort of beings and we've got us, and there's something missing where there's the big change. And he's saying that's because there isn't one, and aliens came down and made the changes, so there is no gradual evolution. They basically gave us a helping hand.
And is this something that he believes, or is this all in a fictional twist?
No. It absolutely 100% believes this.
Oh, right.
Now, I personally, I don't know whether I do or whether I think there's potential for it having happened. I think it's definitely something that should be given more credibility than it is. He's generally discredited in the scientific community, and he's generally looked upon as a bit of a crackpot, really, and a money maker. That he's jumped on other people's previous works and taken their ideas, come up with a load of baloney, and sold a hell of a lot of books. I personally think that's probably true.
But 26 books, what are they covering?
To be fair, I've only read about the first 3, and they sort of set out the basic premise, and I think all the others are just, well, I've been travelling again and I found these more artifacts that help my theory out, and here's what they are.
Right.
I'm not really sure about it, but he points to the fact that there's, I don't know if you've heard of the unifying creation myth, where all religious stories basically boil down to the same story. In the Bible, you've got the Great Flood with Noah. There are versions of the flood theory or the flood story in just about every religious text there is.
Yeah.
And he basically boils it down to the if an alien in a spaceship came and landed on Earth and suddenly walked out and was using a radio or a wrist communicator to talk to his mothership and getting the voice coming back, and they're looking at primitive man, they'd think that these astronauts are gods. You know, they have the power to talk to God, and his voice comes down from up on high. Well, no, it's coming out of a little speaker on my arm, actually. But and that's where he thinks the sort of religious stories come from. That they're the primitive man's explanation for what they've seen. The Ark of the Covenant is a power supply, a nuclear power supply. Yeah. When people touch it, they died from a horrible sickness. And the description sounds very, very similar to radiation sickness. And he tries to rationalise all of these biblical stories and religious stories, looks at biblical and religious engravings and says, well, actually, that's a space rocket, isn't it? And it just reminded me of that, and I'm just really surprised it's not something you'd ever heard of, because you're as nerdy as I am.
Thank you. No, it doesn't sound interesting to me. I mean, it sounds a little. He sounds.
I'll get my coat then.
No. I mean, he sounds a little bit too fanatical.
He's very sure of his convictions, put it that way. I wouldn't say he's a fanatic. I think he really would like to be taken a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
But they're an interesting read, put it that way. If you can find a book, any one of his books, specifically Chariots of the Gods is the very first one, which sort of sets his stall out, and the rest sort of build on that. But if you could find it in like a charity shop somewhere, or you know, in a flea market or something, pick it up and have a read. It's certainly worth a read.
Yeah, because I know that there's great unanswered questions as to how is it that these pyramids, they are long and all this.
The pyramids map out Orion, and the Great Pyramid, the 4 sides point to the cardinal points of the compass with fairly amazing accuracy.
Yeah, and this accuracy was almost impossible to do given the tools that they got at the time, and it had to be alien interference that did it. And it's like, it didn't have to be alien interference, not really.
I think that's the problem, that he does say, oh, it couldn't have been done any other way, but it has to. I'm more open to the possibility that it could have been.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a definite. There's problems within evolution theory. It's not a perfect theory.
No.
There's big problems with creationism, is it called? Their theory that it was all done by not necessarily God. What do they call it now? It's intelligent design, isn't it?
Yeah.
That there is a higher being or who sort of guided us. But then that kind of falls into the same category, surely.
Yeah.
But aliens coming down and helping our development is pretty much the same as intelligent design, but actually giving it a fixed person to sort of build around in much the same way as religion does.
Yeah.
So I'd like for it to be taken a little bit more seriously, but I do think some of his statements are fairly wild and far-fetched.
Difficult to follow, yeah. And if you don't follow and agree with some of the far-fetched ones, it makes believing some of the others a little bit more difficult.
Absolutely, yeah. But no, that's just what it reminded me of when I heard the title
Of Children of the Gods.
You were talking about it. I was sitting there thinking, oh, isn't that Erik Von Daniken? But no, it's not.
Erik Von Daniken. Okay, well, I shall have a peruse, and if I see something, I shall pick it up.
Good.
Okay, and now on to the second song of the show. This is from a gentleman by the name of Brother Love, who's a established generator of music for the Podsafe Music Network, and the song is called There She Goes.
Sunshine is so good to you. Whatever happens, don't leave it so soon. It's alright when it's okay. Yeah, you never listen to what anybody else says. Such a stubborn one, I think I'm in love with you. Come on, you're such a sweet little honey. Your smile's the loveliest of the lovely, yeah. Ditch that guy, we'll go outside. I know where we can do it. Yeah, I go, yeah, I've been told I can't win, so there it is. First you say you can, oh then you say you can't. You don't wanna take a chance. Well, my name is Larry. I'm a Libra. I must be the biggest sucker this side of Suckerville. Good evening, ma'am. There she goes, there she goes, there she goes again. When she goes, no one knows who or where she's been. And I should know that she'll be back again. There she goes, there she goes, where she goes again. Center stage. She like to tell the story. Oh, she like to tell the glorious, glorious tales.
You're such a cutie pie, and I really love your band, but I have a boyfriend.
No, I don't wanna be a little married boy. I only wanna be a brother loving toy. Ditch that guy, we'll go outside. I know where we can do it. Yeah, I know, I've been told I can't win, so there it is. You try and try. I wanna be the guy that goes home with you tonight. Oh, honey, I'm all over you, prancing around like a little kitty cat, spraying all your territory. Well, I'm not up for that, but it smells real nice. Oh, there she goes, there she goes, there she goes again. When she goes, no one knows who or where she's been. And I should know that she'll be back again. There she goes, there she goes, there she goes again. You know you gotta like step into my club. A table for one. Such a sucker. Bye.
Love the way that ends. It's that.
Just like he ran out of ideas and
Yeah,
now
well,
we'll stop now.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to play this guitar anymore. Yes, that was Brother Love with There She Goes. And
like that.
you will find links to Brother Love's website on the show notes, as well as links to Clarck Datchler and the promo that we had in the middle of the show, and to Derek K. Miller's website, because Derek very kindly provides us with the introduction music at the beginning of the show. And if you have any comments to leave, then please go to our website, which is ddl.podshow.com. Leave us an email at ddlpodshow@googlemail.com, or call us on our telephone number, which is 0207 1932 982. Thank you very much for listening again. You've been listening to me, Darren.
And me, Lance.
And until next week, goodbye.
Goodbye.
The best and the brightest, served up daily by the sharpest minds in content delivery, Podshow and Limelight.